Can Zhen Huan, blessed with both beauty and talent, truly outshine all in the imperial harem and enjoy everlasting favor? Despite the strong wind at night, the empress was still dressed neatly, sitting upright in her carriage, further emphasizing her authority as the master of the harem. Consort Hua had no choice but to step forward and kneel with us in greeting. The empress's demeanor showed no displeasure. She simply asked us to rise and went straight to the point. What exactly happened to Consort Li? Knowing that the empress was already aware of the situation and could not be deceived, Consort Hua reluctantly admitted, Consort Li suddenly became violently ill, and I was just about to send her back to the palace for the imperial physician's diagnosis. The suddenness of the event did not allow me to report to you, Your Majesty. I hope you will forgive me. Consort Hua calmed herself and added, But Your Majesty is indeed well informed to receive news so quickly. I am truly ashamed. She then glared at me fiercely, but I stood there unperturbed as if I didn't notice. My task with Mei Zhuang was already completed. What followed was the responsibility of the Empress. The Empress nodded slightly. Since it was sudden, how could I blame you, Consort Hua? She smiled gently. Being aware of and appropriately handling the affairs of the harem is indeed the duty of an empress. Her words were as gentle as a breeze but held the weight of her esteemed position, leaving Consort Hua with a livid face, unable to retort. After speaking, the empress stepped down from her carriage to check on Consort Li, and upon approaching, she exclaimed in surprise and frowned, Zhou Ninghai, how dare a servant like you cover Consort Li's mouth? What kind of insubordination is this? Seeing the empress questioning him, Zhou Ninghai was scared but dared not let go, only sneaking glances at Consort Hua. Consort Hua stepped forward and explained, Your Majesty may not be aware. Consort Li was delirious due to her sudden illness, so I ordered her mouth to be covered to prevent her nonsense from disturbing others. Oh! The empress lifted her head to glance at Consort Hua, then let go of Consort Li. Do you intend to send her back to Yanqi Palace with her mouth covered like this? Only then did Consort Hua signal Zhou Ninghai to let go. Freed, Consort Li suddenly threw herself at Consort Hua's knees, crying hysterically, Your Highness, save me! The Yu family is after me, she's come for me. Your Highness, you know I didn't tell her to do this, it wasn't me. Consort Hua quickly interjected. Yes, it has nothing to do with anyone else, she brought this upon herself. Bending down, Consort Hua softened her tone and gently consoled. Don't be afraid, Consort Li, the Yu family hasn't come. Come back to the palace with me. Consort Li backed away, her eyes darting around suspiciously, and then she stared at Consort Hua oddly. She's here. Really, Your Highness, she's come to seek revenge. She blames us for her dead end. The wind of the quiet night swept along the ground, carrying Consort Li's words with it. Those who heard it couldn't help but feel a chill run down their spines, as if the ghost of the Yu family was lurking nearby, sneering at us. Hearing her nonsensical talk, Consort Hua was both anxious and angry, scolding, Are you seeking death? What nonsense are you spouting? Glancing at me, she composed herself and said, There's a culprit for every grievance, a debtor for every debt. Even if the Yu family were to come, they would seek out the person who harmed her, not us. Standing behind Consort Hua, I slowly said, Consort Hua is right. There's a culprit for every grievance, a debtor for every debt. Your Highness surely has nothing to fear. Consort Li, looking around at everyone, suddenly threw herself at the feet of the Empress. In her extreme panic, she was surprisingly strong, almost knocking the Empress off balance, causing the palace servants nearby to hurry to stabilize the Empress and pull Consort Li away. Consort Li, in her terror, clutched the hem of the Empress's robe, crying, There are ghosts! I don't want to die. The Empress also felt uneasy and waved her hand. What a commotion! I cannot rest easy sending her back to Yanqi Palace in this state. Take good care of Consort Li and bring her to my Phoenix Palace. Consort Hua urgently said, Your Majesty, Consort Li's condition seems like madness. How can she disturb your rest in Phoenix Palace? It would be better if she were taken care of in my Mixiu Palace. The Empress replied with a smile, Phoenix Palace is spacious enough to accommodate her. Consort Hua need not worry unnecessarily. Besides, though Consort Li is delirious, her words involve the matter of Zhenwani's poisoning, a matter of great importance that I must investigate. Does Consort Hua think there's something inappropriate about Consort Li staying at my palace? Consort Hua's eyebrows raised, her gaze commanding as she replied, I naturally wouldn't worry about the Empress's care being inappropriate. Since the Emperor has personally charged me with assisting in managing the 6 palaces, I naturally feel I can alleviate some of the Empress's concerns. The Empress surely wouldn't prevent me from doing so. If that were the case, the Emperor might blame me for not being considerate of the Empress. Consort Hua's words were quite blunt, causing the Empress's attendants to show signs of displeasure. Caught off guard, the Empress hesitated, unable to respond. Seeing the situation potentially escalating, and fearing that all previous efforts would be wasted if Consort Li were taken by Consort Hua, I immediately said, Your Highness oversees the 6 palaces, and your personal attention to this matter would surely put the Emperor at ease. After speaking, I quickly knelt down and said, I respectfully see off the Empress. Mei Zhuang reacted quickly, pulling Ling Rong and Sherpin to kneel together and say, We respectfully see off the Empress. Without further ado, the Empress took Consort Li back to Phoenix Palace. Consort Hua, furious yet powerless, could only watch as the Empress took Consort Li away, her hands trembling with anger, nearly fainting. Back in the palace, Lu Zhu and Huan Bai had prepared some snacks for a late-night meal. Jean she closed the door, and I looked at the young eunuch Xiao Lianzi in the room and smiled. I had you play the ghost, which must have been hard on you these days. Xiao Lianzi hurriedly replied. Such words from my master would be the death of me. He made a funny face and laughed. But I did scare myself when I sneaked a peek in the mirror. I couldn't help but laugh and nodded repeatedly. Indeed, you scared Consort Li badly, causing her to slip up and reveal quite a bit. I never thought my humble skills could be put to such use. I really have to thank Sister Lu Zhu for teaching me how to use the water sleeves and Sister Huan Bai for painting the ghost face for me. Lu Zhu couldn't help but burst into laughter. What we did was nothing, it was all Mrs. idea. Thinking it over, she said to Xiao Lianzi, You better quietly burn the ghost costume, just in case leaving any trace might spoil things. Xiao Lianzi quickly agreed. Jean she signaled for them to quiet down. Don't celebrate just yet. It now seems certain that Consort Hua was behind this, and Consort Li can't be completely dissociated from it either. However, given Consort Li's apparent madness, her words might not hold much weight. I pondered for a while, idly twirling my hair with a jade hairpin and said, You make a good point. However, the Empress might not be willing to let such an opportunity pass. We just need to watch from the sidelines and provide hints when necessary. The play has already started, and the drums have been beaten. It's time for each character to make their appearance. I smiled gently. Rest well tonight, for there might be a tumult awaiting us.
Follow us to avoid getting lost and enjoy endless exciting stories. For more content, please go to the Story Wall homepage to view more exciting novels.